What's going on, YouTube? It's your girl, according to Jay Natisse, and I am back with a recap of Love After Lockup. This is season 5, episodes 36 and 37. So, your girl's been through it. So, I actually had surgery a few days ago, guys. I'm actually like 9 days post op. Um, I had some fibroids removed. So the girls that know. I feel okay. My energy is still not, it's not going to be there for a while, but I definitely do plan on talking about that in a separate video. So please, please, please be on the lookout for that. But without further ado, let's get into it. So let's get into Bianca and Daniel because Bianca's voice sounds like this and it's very, very annoying. But she's getting ready to go to Arizona. And okay, I can't do it. But she's getting ready to go to Arizona. She's packing up and getting ready to go to Arizona. She's speaking to her roommate, and her roommate is, expressing her concerns as a friend would. And Bianca just thinks she's jealous of her life because she's getting out of the state of Florida and is moving on with her life. And she thinks her roommate, I believe her name is Haley, she thinks Haley is jealous. Okay, girl. I am going to still talk like her. So Bianca has a video call with Daniel, and they keep talking about, is she going to continue drinking? And Bianca's like, I don't want to stop drinking. But Daniel's a recovering alcoholic, so maybe she should consider that. And as she's getting ready to leave and go to Arizona, she's, talking about her past relationships, and she had a miscarriage when she was 21. And she's just saying, how life would have been had she kept the baby. That's her segment. Moving on. Julian and Christine. Julian and Christine are heading back to Maryland. Remember, that's where Julian lives. And as they're taking their trip back, she's like, hey, you want to see the first bank I ever robbed? And they do that. She tells Julian and us, of course, how she robbed them. She just wrote a note very nicely. It was just like, hey, put all your 50s and 100s in this bag. You pass it to the teller. That's how she ended up robbing the bank. She only got away with about $200. Excuse me, $2,000. But anyway, so they get back to Annapolis, Maryland, which is where Julian lives. They get to the townhouse, and it's a really, really nice townhouse. And we didn't know this, but Julian has kids. He has, I think, a boy and a girl. I don't know their ages. Maybe about teenager. I don't think he ever said their ages. But so he's showing Christine around the townhouse, and he's pretty much like, okay, you have free range of the house except when my kids are here. When my kids are here, you need to stay upstairs. And I'm like, damn, is she some type of like, I don't know, but she's like, she has to stay upstairs all until, she meets Julian's ex wife. Okay, moving on. Actually, not moving on, because how you gonna keep me upstairs while your kids is here? I mean, I get, like you got to meet the mother of the children and all that stuff, but you gonna keep me upstairs like I'm some type of like animal? Like, no, 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 no. So my notes may not be extensive on this because I wrote these notes when I was watching the episode, and I was shoot, like 3 days post op, and I was getting sleepy and I just never got back to it. So muscle memory, thank you. But Kim and Joey finally comes home. Kim's like, where you been? He's like, don't worry about it. But Kim got that tracker on his phone, so she know where he been. So again, it's still Christmas. Family's coming over. Joey's mom comes over, Miss Tammy. We met her before, and his niece. I forgot her name. Savannah. My bad if I don't remember. I'm not going back to look at the episode again. And his niece is 20 years old, and she goes on to explain, like, she really looked up to Joey as an uncle and all that stuff. And like, there was one time that she gave him like $40 because he said he needed it and he used it for his drugs. Then Kim's daddy comes. Now we already remember Kim's daddy does not like Joey, doesn't really care for Joey. There was a situation back in the day. Remember, Kim and Joey have known each other since childhood. Um, Kim's dad had a bike, I believe it was a dirt bike, in the garage, and he thinks that Joey stole it. So he is approaching, he's asking Joey, like, did you steal this bike 20 years ago? And Joey's like, no. And daddy don't believe him. But anyway, so back in the house, Kim and Joey, it's Christmas time. Everybody's, chatting. The boys are playing with their toys. Then Joey gets down on one knee and asks for Kim's hand in marriage. And of course, Kim accepts. And that was a nice ring too. Joey said the ring cost about $3,700. He said he was making money. He wouldn't say how, but Joey's mom purchased the ring for Joey, but Joey paid for it with his money. So that's pretty much their story. We clap our hands in the sanctuary. We clap our hands to give you the glory. I don't want to sing too much because, copyright, YouTube, and all that stuff. That's not my song. Y'all already know that. Anywho, we back at church and poor Miss Karen got the giggles. Oh my God. She got the giggles. She crying. She is laughing. She poor little Tink Tink. She is high as a kite. Story time for y'all. Story time for y'all. Hi, mom and dad. So, I had tried some edibles. This was a few years ago, but it was in a certain form, Rice Krispie form, and didn't hit me till a few hours later. And I thought I was having a stroke. And I'll be honest, my reaction was probably the same as Miss Karen's. I was laughing, I was crying, like I didn't know what was going on. But then Miss Karen was telling Z that she loved her, and she said the spirit is moving. The preacher was really, which is Z's dad, was really getting to her, and she starts crying, and she is just filled with the Holy Ghost or the cannabis ghost. But I'm not sure how long the scene really lasted, but now the preacher's preaching, now they singing, now they clapping, then he's preaching again. So I don't know how they cut it up, but then Miss Karen was like, I got to go. This thing dragging. Now Miss Karen, if you in church, if you come into a black church, you need to at least prepare to be there for at least 2 business days. If you come in on Sunday, you ain't getting out till Tuesday afternoon. Oh God! All right. So Miss Karen goes outside and she says she done ate 3 gummies. So homegirl is tweaking. She's tweaking. She ain't twerking. Lord Jesus, Lord, I hope she not twerking. Anywho, she wants to leave. Z's son Ashael tries to come out and try to get Miss Karen to come back. She's like, she's not coming back. She's like, just make up something. Like, I'm not coming back in there. So after church is over, they go out. Z's parents go out to meet Troy's mom, and she said she was feeling so exposed. But Z's mom, hugs Miss Karen, and that's pretty much their segment. Remember, Troy's parents, Z's parents want Troy to be a minister, and he's just like, that's not what I have planned, but we'll see. At the beginning of the episode, we see Shantae and True. Shantae, remember, is crying in the car because True broke up with her. and she didn't get far. She's like down the street. And True goes up to the car, opens the car, and she's like, "What do you want from me, True?" And he's like, "We could be friends." And she's just like, "Friends?" But whatever. She drives away, and we catch up with them 14 weeks later. Remember, keep that in your mind. 14 weeks later, um, she says she done moved to a cheaper place. She's back in Independence, and she moved into a cheaper place. She got a new job. Everything's good for her. She's on her way to the baby store. Her 19-year-old daughter is pregnant. So Shantae is about to be a grandmother. I think she was already a grandmother, but she's about to have another grandbaby at 35. No judgment, no judgment at all. But so Shantae's about to be a grandmother again, and Shantae's homegirl is at the store, and they're picking up little cutesy stuff. What you think about this? And Shantae's like, "What do you think about this for a baby bag?" And they're like, "Oh, that's cute." And she's like, "Okay, yeah, because I think I need that for me because I'm pregnant."
Oh my.
So yeah, Shantae lets us know that she is pregnant. She said about 2 months after her and True broke up, she was at work and she just passed out. They took her to the ER, and as a female, they're gonna run all the tests. They're gonna run a pregnancy test and all that stuff, and it was positive. Child, y'all not gonna stress me out. Y'all not gonna stress me out, Shantae and True. Y'all not. Okay? So Shantae is pregnant, and boom, 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 she is pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl. Woo! Okay. So Shantae calls True, lets him know the situation. True is out pumping gas, and she calls him. She's like, "Yeah, I'm pregnant," and all that stuff. Oh, before we get into that, we find out that True has had a falling out with his family, unfortunately. But hopefully they've patched things up by now because apparently there's two babies on the way. But he said he was living with a female roommate. Producers asked, has he had sex with said roommate? He said, I plead the fifth on that question. True cockeyed. It's okay because I got a little lazy eye too. But true cockeyed. It's all right. Um, so they tell him, so Shantae calls him, tells him that she's pregnant and she don't know if she wants True to be involved. And True's just like, I don't care. I'm on my way. Ready or not, here I come, which is the name of this episode, Ready or Not. Ready or not, here I come. Okay, let me stop. But that's where we leave off. True's on his way to Independence to get his woman back and to be with her and them babies. Roll out the red carpet. True is here. He has arrived in Independence. And he's going grocery shopping because he wants to cook for Shantae. Remember, they were supposed to open up a restaurant together. I believe Shantae's a restaurant manager and all that stuff. And remember, in Love During Lockup, she was cooking and that food looked good. But it's kind of funny because True has been in jail for 13 years, so a lot of this new technology, True's still figuring it out. So True got the self checkout and was like, "What is this?" Oh my god! But he said he's been making his money at the casino, so True been gambling. So he gets to Shantae's house. Shantae lets him in. He apologizes and lets him know, he's honest with her. He's like, yeah, I've been talking to other people while we were apart. Like, listen, True been in jail for 13 years, and you think he ain't gonna talk to other people? Shantae, come on, girl. Come on. Like, he went in jail at 18 and came out at 31. He got to sow his royal oats. Okay? Anyway, um, so as we can see, Shantae is for real pregnant. Last episode we couldn't really see it, or it just looked like a little pudge. But this time, this episode, that stomach is stomaching. Okay, pardon me, but that stomach is stomaching. Um, so as True is making breakfast for them, he's trying to make a steak omelet, and Shantae is just sitting. He got her some flowers, I believe, and she's just sitting there like, he loves me. It's a pretzel. He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. So the omelet's ready. Shantae pretty much said it was nasty. Um, pretty much said it was nasty, and she's like, "All right, well, you can stay tonight, but you ain't in the bedroom with me. You can sleep on the couch." That's pretty much where their segment left off. Or if I forgot anything, oh well. So Bianca's getting settled into her Arizona apartment, and Daniel's getting out the next day. And they're actually going to be on Love or Life After Lockup, which is coming back in October. I'm going to do a synopsis on everybody that's, returning and all that stuff. So be on the lookout for that one as well. Anyway, Bianca gets settled into her Arizona apartment, and she's just like, it's hot. Like, Florida ain't hot, but it's a dry heat. Arizona is dry heat. It's different. But so she's going to meet up with Daniel's mom and his stepdad, and I believe it was his cousin. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Y'all, I really shouldn't be laughing because I'm still like sore, but I ibuprofen 800 milligram be doing this job. It just hasn't kicked in yet. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be laughing because again, fibroid surgery. So all they had actually had a myomectomy. So those that know that I was cut. So yeah, the incision. I really shouldn't be laughing, but let me finish. The stepdad apologizes for asking Bianca how mentally stable she is. Said that that's just part of his humor. Um, So Bianca's talking to, she orders a cranberry vodka, which is my drink of choice. Good job. Let me stop. So um, the mother is talking to Bianca and just saying, how alcoholism runs deep into their family. Like the stepdad is sober. I think he is about, I forgot how long he said, like a few months, but he's sober. The mom doesn't, like, she'll drink but not like around the stepdad, and she's just really like, we get more of an understanding as to why Daniel really shouldn't be around drinkers and things like that. And Bianca's just like, well, I'm gonna keep drinking, but it's way deeper than that. Like, alcoholism is a big issue in this family. um Daniel's younger brother passed away from addiction. Just addiction, period, is a big issue in this family. Um, so yeah, I hope she has more of an understanding. Like, hey, like maybe you could you know drink when Daniel's not around, or just don't be all up in his face, up in his, if he coming home and you is like plaster, that's not really gonna work. You know what I mean? Or just having alcohol in the house, period. So she's gonna have to, she's gonna have to really think about that. Christine is having a hard time reaching her PO, so she goes to the office to check in. She really has to stay on top of things like that because she went to jail for a parole violation last time. So she just wants to make sure she's staying on top of that. We come to find out that Julian is paying for a lawyer in Ohio to deal with Christine's twins, and they're going to need another lawyer for her son in West Virginia for child support and things like that. And Christine started getting on my nerves. She's just like, "Oh, I thought you had it all together, girl. This is expensive, okay?" Like Julian, I forgot what Julian does for a living, but he's pretty much saying like, "Hey, these things are expensive and blah 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 blah." Like, he's pretty much saying he needs help. So Christine, get a job. And she's just like, you know how hard it is for felons to get a job and all that stuff. And I'm just like, girl, McDonald's is hiring. Like, he's like, I don't even need that much. Like, just, just some relief. Like, she's really having unrealistic expectations. And she got on my nerves because, girl, McDonald's is hiring. There's literally lists that will hire felons. There's lists going around the internet of companies that will hire felons. Get a job, Christine. Get a job. You're making my stomach hurt, Christine. Get a damn job. All right, Letitia and Keith. So Letitia goes to see an actual lawyer this time. Good for her. The lawyer explains that the laws haven't changed, but the policy statement on these certain laws change, which pretty much means that it's not going to affect him, but it can affect, people that are coming in for the same crime. So that's how I understood it. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. So yeah, Letitia and her leave out. Let me not get on my Leo sister like that, but y'all know her leave out be anyway. So Keith only has like 8 months left at this time period of them filming, so he's almost out anyway. I like that lawyer. He clocked that paralegal. What was the paralegal's name? Was it Ben? Ben. Okay, I don't remember if that's the name, but anyway, he said all that paralegal did was read, and of course he clocked that he used to be a felon too. He was like, he just read some books and now he's just trying to make a profit off these inmates. So fortunately, Letitia is asked out of $1,000. Thank God it's not more though. So Letitia gets home and Aunt Marcia is babysitting, of course, and she's going to go get changed. Aunt Marcia comes upstairs and pretty much, if y'all remember a few episodes ago, Aunt Marcia said there was a notice from the sheriff's department on Letitia's door. Apparently, I know there was some stories in the internet saying Letitia wasn't paying her rent and all that stuff, or yeah, not paying her rent. Apparently, Letitia doesn't own the house that she's in. She's renting it, but the people she's renting from, they're not paying the mortgage. So that house is getting foreclosed on. And unfortunately, Letitia got about like 2 months to move. Damn shame. Now, why is Z getting ready for her day and she's just steady? Like, girl, we already know that ponytail is fake. So why is you just steady just trying to like brush it up? Like, girl, if you don't take that ponytail off and brush your hair back, I ain't playing with you, Z. I'm not. Anyway, they're getting ready to go to Buffalo so Troy can see his daughter. Z's breastises are spilling over her bra. She need to either adjust that bra or go up a band size because, girl, what is you doing? Anywho, this whole segment with them was a lot because it was just like, what is going on? Like, all of a sudden, like, they're getting ready to go and all that stuff. And Z's like, I'm not going to Buffalo. And Troy's baby mama calls Miss Karen. Now, mind you, Miss Karen says she'll with that. Okay, so now all of a sudden y'all calling and I don't know, I'm not really keying and all that stuff. So Z's like, whoa, like why is she calling you and all that stuff? So Z gets mad at Troy. She's like, I'm not going. You could get the out. So Troy pieces out and Troy goes on a walk that lasts about 2.5 hours. Again, this whole segment was so confusing because then they go to try to look for Troy. Troy ends up about 6 miles from Z's house, and he's just, he's just like, yo, like, I don't, like, Z's insecure and all that stuff, and I guess the baby mom still wants Troy, and then all of a sudden, like, towards the end of the episode, freaking Miss Karen is like, oh, I'm gonna talk to Z because she's hearing from Yana, who's the baby mama, that Z was having an affair on Troy. And I don't know, they confused me with this one. Moving on. Hope and Arthur. It's the next day from when we last saw them. Arthur's trying to cook some breakfast on an electric stove. I hate electric stoves, by the way. We had it in our apartment when we first moved down to Texas, but we got gas now. Hey. Anyway, um, so Hope's trying to, excuse me, Arthur's cooking breakfast, and Hope's like, yeah. So for today, I think we should go to a fabric store so you can, look at some designs and all that stuff. Remember, Arthur is an aspiring fashion designer, which is cool. So they end up at the fabric store. Um, and Arthur's going through all these designs, very beautiful designs, and just I'm sure he was loving it. Um, Hope's sister calls her, and they're FaceTiming and all that stuff, and she goes on to say that she has not told her sister about Arthur, which is strange. So Hope's still on FaceTime with the sister in the store. Arthur tries to go up to Hope, and she like shushes him away. So Arthur's already just his head's on a swivel, like what's that about? Um, After that, they get home. Later, they get home, and Arthur is trying to put a bookshelf together. And he's talking to Hope and tells Hope that he saw a picture with her with some guy. She's like, um, oh, that's an old picture, blah, blah, blah. You can clearly tell that communication is like weird with them. Like, it's really, really weird. Um, but Arthur lets us know and lets Hope know he's still feeling like very institutionalized, and he has to just go outside and just take a walk. Then he says in the confessional that he has PTSD. Unfortunately, he saw somebody get in front of him in jail. So, of course, that I don't even want to imagine, but I'm sure that messes with his mental all the time. So Troy's outside crying, breaking down. Hope is outside. Hope goes outside with him, calls Troy's mom, and she's just talking and reassuring him. And then we see that they cease production with him after that, and we just hope that he gets his mental together, because mental health ain't no joke. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like this video, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I know it's been a minute, but like I said, I had some things I had to take care of, and I'm going to go lay down now. So, later.